Good morning to one and all present here. Very happy to see you all in the morning. Today we are going to see regarding a subject, wireless ad hoc and sensor network. In continuation with the unit 1, I just want to recap the last class which you have seen. So in the last class, we have seen on how the MAC layer protocol is using, right? What are all the MAC layer protocol use, how we are going to use that we have seen. Under that, we have seen about the classification of how MAC protocol. So under classification, we have seen three major types. One will be contention based, second one will be contention based protocol with reservation mechanism. Third type will be contention based protocol with schedule mechanism. And lastly, we'll be having other protocol, which is available in MAC. And each protocol will be having certain number of protocols which you are implementing in contention based and contention based with schedule mechanism and contention based with other mechanism, right? So now we are going to move to another important topic, which is on the classification of MAC protocol. We are going to see regarding contention based protocol. So as you all know that what is in by contention based protocol? Can you able to recollect what I said? Yes. So contention based, which means before going to transmit any data, it will listen, then it will go for communication. Which means the main purpose of using this contention based protocol is be in an effective manner to transmit the data and using the maximum bandwidth, which can be applicable only with the help of this contention based protocol. Am I right? The another advantage of using this, we can use same radio frequency for more than one nodes, but not in the range. The other range of nodes is connected, we can use same frequency, radio frequency to the other nodes. This can be only applicable with the help of this contention based protocol. Is it clear? So we'll move to the topic briefly. What is contention based protocol? Here, this protocol, it entirely belongs to the wireless LAN category, where it comes under the protocol of MACA, which is multiple access collision avoidance protocol. So as you all know that multiple access in the sense, you can access multiple data and in order to avoid the collision. This can be applicable with this MACA. How we have to avoid the collision? There, this MACA uses two types of signal before transmitting and receiving the data. What are they? Yes, can you able to guess? Yes, it is RDS and CTS. So what is meant by RDS? Request to send, clear to send. Right. So these are the two major signals which will be used for before transmitting the data and after receiving the data. So what is meant by RDS? For example, if a node wants to transmit a data packet, what will happen? It will first transmit an RDS signal to the sender to the receiver side. Then it will wait for the response from the receiver side. So after the receiver node will receive the RDS packet, what it will do? It will be receiving the data, then it will go for, I will check for the availability, then it will wait for the signal, right? Where this is how, after receiving the request from the receiver, right? So what the receiver will do, it will check for the availability, whether we will be having the available communication things or not. So once the availability has been confirmed, then the receiver node, it will clearly send the CTS signal message indicating that clear to send, which means the communication is clear so that the sender want to communicate. So this is a message will be sent by the receiver node. So this is the help of this CTS signal, right? So these are the two major signal which will be transmitting in this MACA protocol. Is it clear? Once the sender receives the CTS packet without any error, it starts transmitting the data packet, right? So once the CTS signal is received by the sender, automatically it indicating that there is no stop of communication. Directly we can go for communicating with the sender to the receiver, right? If there may be a possibility of any delay which will be received the CTS signal to sender, automatically till the CTS signal received to the sender, it will be waiting or for a certain period of time, or else we go for searching for the other nodes available. So this is the thing will be happening, right? If after transmitting, if the packet transmitted by a node is lost, then the node used by the exponential backoff algorithm to back off a random interval of time before returning. Which means, for example, if accepted the CTS signal so that the sender want to send the data. While sending the data in a packet manner, assume that the data has been lost since it is not reached to the receiver. So what will happen? So receiver will be wait for a certain period of time. So till that period of time, it will not receive the data. Automatically, what will happen? It will send a negative message to the sender side, right? So then, after receiving the signal, the sender will indicating that the data has been lost. So use of exponential backoff algorithm, it will wait for a random period of interval time. It will again retransmit the data. So this is how the transmission will be takes place, right? Here, this is a diagram which is indicating about how the RTS and CTS signal will be communicated, right? So here in the figure A, A, B, C, D, E are the nodes. So there is two frequency range, one for the range of A transmitter, another one is the range for B transmitter. So if you are considering the range of A transmitter, so what are the nodes available? We will be having A, B, E, C, because D is not in the range of A. Similarly, in the figure B, if you are considering the range of B transmitter, so what are the nodes available in that frequency range? We will be having A, B, E, D. But we are not having the C because it is out of the range of B transmitter. So these are the range where the nodes can communicate. If C want to communicate D in the range of A, it is not possible. Similarly, D want to communicate with C in the range of B transmitter, it is not possible. So within the node of range, we can communicate, right? So as here indicating that the common portion which will be comes with both range of A and as well as B will be, can you able to get? Yes, A, B, E. So these three nodes are the common range between both for the transmitter A and as well as for the transmitter B, right? So assume that in our example, we are communicating from A to B. So A will initially send the RTS signal. Then after receiving B, B will check for the availability. Once all the availability check has been cleared, then it will clearly indicating the CTS signal to A. Once CTS signal has been received to A, so A will start doing the communication with B. So this is how the communication will be takes place, right? Similarly, if E want to communicate with D, if E initially will send the RTS signal to D, right? So initially E will send the RTS signal to D. Then D will check for the availability. Then if it is not available, then it will not send the CTS signal because it is already, there is no availability, right? So that it will wait for a certain period of time with D for E. then it will search for the other node. If it is available, it will send with CTA signal, then the communication will be takes place. This is how the signal communication will be happen with the MAC protocol, right? Here, in detailed manner, how the communication will be there. First, step one, assume that A, B, C. A, B, C are the three nodes. So A initially want to communicate with B. So what will happen? Before going to start with communication with B, A want to check whether the availability of B or not. So for this, step one, RDS will be sent from A to B, right? So once RDS has been received, what will happen? B will check for the availability. Then step two, it will indicating that B is available. So it will indicating with serial signal to J. So here now JB will be in the communication line, right? Then after this, again B will send the CTS signal to C, right? So it will check for the availability, and but there is no RDS signal B came from C to B, right? But C will send the CTS signal. It's clearly indicating that I'm available, we can make for communication, right? So this is the thing. Once, then here B will communicate the RDS signal, right? So this is how the communication will be takes place, right? Right. So when we come to the contention-based protocol, so they should be using a MACA protocol, right? So there you'll use a carrier sensing operation. So what is in the carrier sensing? You will use RDS signal and CTS signal. It use the concept of carrier sensing operation. It will sense whether we can able to communicate or not. So that is called carrier sensing. Whether we are going to check whether it is sensing for the operation or not. So based on the channel access discipline, which consists of a carrier sensing operation. So why we are going for carrier sensing operation? Since we want to avoid the collision, so we are going for this carrier sensing operation. So we know that this operation will be helpful clearly for avoiding the collision. So this collision avoidance will have a dialogue which have between the sender and the receiver. So before transmitting the packet. So with this, we can clearly avoid the collision, right? So when you come to the floor acoustic station, so it is a process of gaining the control of channel. So if you are going for floor acquisition, we should control the channel and we should be gained in such a way of sending the data in a higher rate. So in order to gain the efficiency of the channel, you need floor acquisition. So since you want to avoid the collision. So with this, carrier sensing plays a vital role. In carrier sensing only, it use RDS and CTS as a major role in this. When we come to the variation of FAMA, which is a very important one in, so when we come to the variation of FAMA, which is floor acoustic multiple access. So when you go for floor acoustic multiple access, there also you'll use a carrier sensing as a major role. So you'll use RDS, CTS exchange with no carrier sense use. There, instead of that, you'll use Aloha protocol for transmitting the RDS packet. If you are avoiding the no carrier sensing, automatically the collision may happen with Aloha, right? So this is how the first variation of this. Here, example of using the thing, A, B. When we come to BDMA, busy tone multiple access protocol, which means it is an important role which you will find it out the busy tone in MAC protocol. When we come to BDMA, Basic-Tone Multiple Access Protocol, here this protocol is used for mainly purpose of multi-hop network. So as you all know that if you are transmitting for a longer range of time from sender to receiver, there are a lot of multiple nodes which is available in the network, right? So we'll call it as multiple hop. If you are transmitting from one node to the another node, in between you have one node that will be called as one hop. Similarly, if you are transmitting for a global range, there are multiple number of hops will be there. So in order to avoid the reduce of the hidden terminal which is present inside the network, this BDMA plays a vital role in the process of communication. Is it clear? In order to avoid the multiple hop present between the sender and the receiver, to which will be called as an hidden nodes between the sender and the receiver. So in order to reduce that, we'll use this BDMA, right? This BDMA transaction channel is split into two. One will be a channel for packet transmission. Second one will be a control channel used for transmitting the Basic-Tone signal. First one, the data channel, only for the purpose of data packet transmission. That is the first type. Second type, this is entirely only for controlling the channel and used to transmit the Basic-Tone signal. If the channel is not available, it is busy, it will indicating with the signal to the other nodes which is connected in the network, indicating that the channel is busy. So that it will check for the other alternative channel to make for the communication. When a node is ready for transmission, it will send the channel to check whether the Basic-Tone is active or not. Since assume that you will be having two channels, A and B are the two channels available. If a node wants to communicate to a channel A, it will give a request and it will check whether the Basic-Tone is available for the channel A or not. So while checking, if the A channel is not indicating the Basic-Tone, it's clearly indicating that the channel is available. So that we will make a communication. If it's giving for a request for B channel, it's indicating that the Basic-Tone, so that it is clearly indicating that the channel is busy. So we don't want to go for communication with channel B. So this is where how the Basic-Tone BDMA protocol will helpful. With the help of this Basic-Tone signal, we can clearly avoid the collision, right? This is very, very helpful for the collision avoidance since we want to transmit the data at the higher rate, right? Then, if not, it turns on a Basic-Tone signal, it started at assumption. So if the Basic-Tone is not there, so clearly indicating that we can start the transmission. So it will give a request to sender. The sender immediately responds for the transmission of data, right? If there is any possibility of a delay of transmitting the data, it will be wait for a certain period of time, the receiver, then it will retransmit. If the possibility of data loss can happen, the receiver will be indicating that the error message regarding the data loss. Immediately, the retransmission of data will be happen. Once all the communication has been terminated, then the proper termination will be done, right? Otherwise, it reschedule the packet for transmitting after some random rescheduling delay. Any other node which sends the carrier signs on the incoming data channel also transmit the Basic-Tone signal on the control channel. That prevent two neighbor nodes from transmitting at the same time. In order to avoid the two nodes can be transmitting the same channel, this will be helpful. When you go for RIBDMA, which is initiated on the receiver side. So as you all know that BDMA will be performed on both sender side and receiver side. So if we initiate BDMA on the sender side, we'll call it as SABDMA. If you initiate the Basic-Tone on the receiver side, will be called as RIBDMA. So we will call it as receiver initiator Basic-Tone multiple access protocol. So in this also the same two things we will be having. One channel is used for data packet transmission, another channel is used for controlling the data transmission. with the help of this BC-tone signal. As it is, a similar process also. So it will check for the channel availability. If it is available, then it will go for transmitting the data with the sender. Or if you are indicating the BC-tone channel, then it comes for waiting for a certain period of time, or the channel will be allocated after some time for the availability. So this is where how the communication will be takes place, right? Right. Here we just want to have a small assessment on what you have taken on today's class. What is a contention-based protocol? Can anyone say? Right? Yes. So it is a protocol. Okay. Then, so what is the actual use of contention-based protocol? Contention-based protocol? Yes. It reuse the radio signal for more than one node, but not in the within the range, so that we can reuse what are all the radio frequency available for the other nodes. So in order to reduce the frequency, so that is main thing, right? Classification of content-based protocol, two things. One will be sender-based, and another one will be receiver-based, right? In sender-based, we'll use BDMA protocol, which will be SI-BDMA. We'll use the concept of BC-tone multiple access. Similarly, on the receiver side, if you are initiating, it will be called as RI-BDMA. Receiver initiated multiple access, BC-tone multiple access, right? So this is a small assessment we had. Here, I just want to recap what are all the concepts we have seen on today's class, right? So we started with contention-based protocol. So this is mainly focused on wireless LAN, and this uses the concept of MECA protocol, which will be called as multiple access collision avoidance protocol, in order to avoid the collision. There we'll use two signal, RTS and CTS, right? So with the help of this, we can make the communication. And with the diagram, we have shown about how the communication of RTS and CTS signal has been made. This is the example we have seen. When we come to the contention-based protocol, to avoid that, we'll use floor acoustic multiple access protocol. So in order to gain the channel control, we'll use this floor acoustic. So we'll use the sensing of technique called carrier sensing in FAMA, floor acoustic multiple access. There, we will not use carrier sensing, we'll use Aloha protocol. When you come to BDMA, it will be used on both sender side and as well as receiver, right? It will be wait for the signal. If the signal is not indicating, so it will go for communication. If the signal is indicating, it will wait for the schedule for the other period of time. So these are the references which we have referred for the material, right? Any queries? So with this, I conclude my session of class today. Thank you.